back to MNUFC TV. I'm going to get into the player ratings for Sporting Kansas City 1, Minnesota United 2. Big 3 points at home to clinch the playoffs. Next thing is just to clinch a home playoff berth. Um, so the lineup it wasn't changed from last week. Vito Minone in net, and hands down best MLS goalie maybe ever to walk the earth. Maybe I'm getting carried away, but absolutely awesome. 10 out of 10 performance, man of the match. Like I said, best goalie in the MLS. A absolute must to sign in the offseason. Regardless of price, it does not matter. And that's it. That's all we're going to talk about Vito because he's an absolute brick wall. Absolute brick wall. And MLS goalkeeper of the year. So, yep, there's that. Ike Opara and Boxel with the center back pairings. Ike playing his old team sport in Kansas City. Boxel definitely to blame for the first goal, not being able to win that marked runner, or not all of his fault, but he's got to beat his guy to the ball, and even though it was a handball, I talked about that in my instant match reaction. If you want to go see that, but hands down handball. I couldn't tell right away, but there's no way VAR is even a thing if they don't send that to be looked at. Like it makes pro refs look like a fucking joke. And they are a joke, absolutely a fucking joke. The gentleman that was reffing tonight, it was absolutely awful. His name, Ismail Ifaf. I've seen a handful of games of him ref this year and the year before. He does not control the game. He is just absolutely piss poor, regardless of the teams. I've seen him an LA game. I've watched LA games. I've watched other games on TV where he's refereeing. He's absolutely piss poor. The fact that he still gets his badges as in the ref is just a joke. But Boxel and Ike played well, but they were both the whole defensive line I thought was lackadaisical, and there was a lot of things that we normally deal with that weren't being dealt with tonight. I'm gonna say a 7 from Boxel and an 8 from Ike. I thought Ike played better than Boxel, and it was nice that he wasn't sick and needed to get subbed off at half. And that little bugger going around the changing room is hopefully done. Um, Chase gets sent off with 2 yellow cards. I thought he had an all right game, but due to 2 yellow cards and being sent off, I don't think I can give him too high of a score. I thought if he wouldn't have got sent off, he definitely deserves like a 7, 7.5. But with being subbed off, I'm gonna have to give him a 6.5, or not subbed off, but sent off. I'm gonna have to give him a 6.5. Just need love him for it. He puts in a lot of hard, reckless challenges, and he's just a hard-nosed defender who loves to bomb up and down the pitch and be physical. But some of these needless, I wouldn't say needless, but reckless challenges, he needs to calm down on a bit. Otherwise, he's going to be getting a yellow card every game and walking that thin line in the playoffs, maybe. With yellow card accumulation, I don't know if that applies in the playoffs or a red card suspension probably definitely does. So he'll miss that LAFC game, but should believe be back for the Seattle game, last game of the year. But a 6.5 from Chase. Without the red, it would have been a 7.5, I think. So Gragus with a pretty good game, I thought. Ozzy, who first 45 I didn't think looked particularly as well as Gragus. The partnership didn't look so great in the midfield. We were losing a lot of battles in the midfield. Bucio was playing really well for Sporting Kansas City in that midfield, I thought. And Ozzy was just a little bit too slow to everything. And then in the next 45, Ozzy absolutely bossed it up, covering for the center backs, tied or down 1-0, or it might have been 1-1 to stop Haracho from being able to put a shot on, and made it an easy save for Vito. Alonso popping up for the goal in the box off a nice flick from Abu for the first goal. I believe he had the second assist, um, but that's what they said in the stadium, I believe. But I saw that it was Gregus who was awarded it on Google, so I'm not quite sure who got the second assist for Hassani's goal. But uh, it was a really, really good performance from Alonso in the next 45. I'd like to rest him against LAFC, potentially, maybe even against Seattle going into the playoffs. Give him some rest if we can. If we already had clinched a home playoff, and have Hassani maybe play in that spot in the midfield, or you know, it would have been nice to just give him a little bit of rest. He is a little bit older. Yeah, so that would just be ideal, I thought. So, um, I'm gonna have to give Ozzy a 7.5 or actually an 8 tonight. A definite 8 for the goal, maybe in the assist. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. Remember it was in the stadium. They did say that, but like I said, Google's telling me something else. Gregus, uh, definite was calm in the midfield. Second 45 was a little bit better. Like his energy, his fire, his passion. When he does get all fired up and riled up, you can tell he's about to have step his game up a little bit. When Busio put in him and Busio clanked heads once, and he was pretty upset about that. Gregus was that the ref didn't stop the play, or that Busio had and him had made contact. But Gregus, I think, deserves an 8 tonight. So yeah, we'll do that. And then Quintero didn't have particularly his best game. I thought he definitely didn't have his best game tonight. Some things weren't coming off. Um, some things were. I thought he needed to start getting more direct when a lot of these fancy stuff wasn't coming off. And it seemed like he was always popping up at the back post, which is a good spot to be. But Quintero at the back post no offense to the guy, he's just not as tall to win some of these headers. So it's just unfortunate that he um, doesn't have that height to win some of these headers on the back post. So I didn't think he particularly had the best game. I'll have to give him a 6.5. Yeah, Molino played all right. Didn't have his best game. Actually, I'll give Molino a 6.5 too. I don't think there was some good passes from Molino, but then like Molino has this conservation of greatness thing where he makes a really good pass and then makes a equally as bad pass. But he has that in him to make that one dime that takes the whole defense out of the team, which is nice to have. Um, but yeah, that's what I thought. And then Lod, I don't know quite what he offers. I understand he's really technical on the ball, strong on the ball, holds possession, really possession based. But I really, really don't know what he offers to the team. Seems like he can't do a lot right. Just my opinion. I just don't think he's quite panning out like we'd like him to be with the goals and assists and whatnot. Toy really did not have a great night again. I don't think because you could tell when Abu got subbed on that the the space opened up when Abu was making these runs, and he was stretching the defense a bit and giving more space for everyone else in the team. So Mason, I think, deserves a 6 tonight. I'm going to be a little bit harsh on him because I have been generous to him in the past. So he's going through a tough spell right now, but I know I'll turn it around. So Abu, I think, deserves an 8.5 tonight. Came on, changed the game completely, as well as, or he came on for Mason Toy, and Hassani Dotson came on for Molino, and I thought Hassani changed the game completely, a 9 for me tonight. Ethan Finley, a 7.5. He came on for Lud in the last 10, 15 minutes, and was really involved in the play a lot, and he's definite super sub and deserved a 7.5 rating, being very dangerous for the short time he was on. But that's going to be my player ratings. I guess you could guess what the man of the match is. Vito Manone, like I said. But that's the whole team that played tonight, and it was a great win to clinch the playoffs. So that's my player ratings tonight. As always, come on, you loons. Leave any comments below if you'd like. Let's engage in a discussion.